Imagine you're wearing this dress. Layers of lace, silk, velvet, twirling like royalty. It looks beautiful. Everyone stares. But wait, see this weight? This cage around your legs? That's not fashion. That's 20 pounds of steel and fabric trapping your body. Now imagine this. You're smiling, dancing at a royal ball, surrounded by nobles. And suddenly, you need to pee. But there's no toilet, no privacy. And even if you find one, how do you sit? How do you lift anything? So what do? You squat, in silence, in a ballroom, with servants helping you hold up your skirt, while others pretend not to notice. And that's not even the worst part. Now imagine you're bleeding. No pad, no tampon, just layers of rags, moss, and shame stuffed beneath a crotchless undergarment. And this isn't one night. You live like this every day. Welcome to the brutal truth of Victorian womanhood, where elegance was a lie, where beauty smelled like sweat, and hygiene, it was a battlefield, as beautiful as hell itself. This is Histoveins, where we peel back the velvet curtains of history to reveal the grime, the blood, and the truth hiding underneath. And today, we're diving into a question no one dares to ask out loud. How did Victorian women survive wearing these dresses with no toilet, no pads, and no privacy? How did they maintain their hygiene when everything around them smelled like perfume, sweat, and sewage? Whenever you see a Victorian woman, you see beauty, grace, royalty. They look like queens, glowing in candlelight, dresses sweeping across marble floors. But that's only what you see. Now look again. Still beautiful? Yes. But now, see the truth. They looked like goddesses from oil paintings, wrapped in velvet, lace, and steel. But what no painting ever showed was the stench, the weight, the struggle under every stitch. It was elegance on the outside, and silent suffering underneath. Victorian women didn't just wear dresses. They carried 20 pounds of pressure on their ribs, bladder, and spine every single day. Here's what one outfit looked like. A linen shift, the only washable layer. A corset laced so tight your organs shifted. Multiple petticoats, underskirts, overskirts, a steel crinoline cage, and finally, a heavy outer dress, rarely if ever cleaned. All this for breakfast. And you were expected to move gracefully, even if you were suffocating. Now imagine being at a royal event, a ballroom filled with lords, dukes, and ladies. You're dancing, smiling, laughing, and suddenly you need to pee. But where do you go? There's no bathroom, no toilet, no privacy. Even if you found a chamber pot, how would you even sit down? Enter the solution, the chamber pot. A small bowl hidden in rooms, disguised in furniture. For women, they were specially made, oval-shaped to fit between the thighs. And how did it work? Two maids would follow you. One lifted the 20 pounds of dress, the other slid the pot beneath you. You squatted in silence, while others in the room kept sipping their tea like nothing was happening. This wasn't just survival. This was a system of elegant humiliation. Now forget the nobles. What about the poor? No chamber pots, no privacy, just a corner of the room or the yard. Entire families relieved themselves in front of each other. And the waste? It went straight out the window, into the street, into the air, into your face if you weren't careful. Ever heard "watch out for the water"? That came from Garde-l'eau, a shout warning that urine and feces were flying down. Victorian streets didn't smell bad. They were bad. Rivers of sewage, skies of piss. Welcome to the real 1800s. And here's a detail most don't know. Victorian women didn't wear underwear.
not until skirts started flying in public. So they introduced split-crotch drawers, open in the middle, with no actual coverage. Why? Because lifting all those layers just to pee was impossible. With crotchless drawers, you didn't lift the dress. You just squatted quietly and hoped no one noticed.
Now let's talk about what no one wants to admit: menstruation. There were no pads, no tampons, just blood, pain, and shame. Women used what they called tea bandages, strips of cloth tied between the legs and stuffed with rags, moss, wool, or grass. Some changed them 20 times a day. There was no waste bin, no soap, no break. Just rinse it in cold water and use it again. If you bled too much, your petticoats soaked it up. If you were poor, you just hoped the blood wouldn't show. And all of this in silence. Victorian women were expected to smile, host, entertain, while bleeding and burning underneath layers of lace. Here's a disturbing twist. Governments collected women's urine. Why? Because urine was used to make saltpeter, a key ingredient in gunpowder. Yes, your pee could go from chamber pot to the battlefield. And the laundry? Most dresses weren't cleaned for months, some for half a year. Why? Because soap and water could ruin delicate fabrics. So instead, they brushed dresses with talcum powder to hide the odor. The real cleaning? Only undergarments, linen shifts, and petticoats were boiled and scrubbed. Victorian laundry wasn't just hard, it was a ritual of exhaustion and survival. Every corset left red marks on the skin. Every dress trapped sweat, blood, and pain. Every step was taken under weight, physical, social, emotional. But the world called it grace. They called it elegance. But it was a prison made of silk. And Victorian women were locked inside it for decades. This was the truth behind the beauty. Behind every fan and feather was rot, blood, and silence. If this left you stunned, like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. We uncover the past they tried to hide. This is Histoveins.